So I'm going to demonstrate something really nice, recipe I've been developing, and it's kind of a twist on stir-fried shrimp with orange sauce. I'm going to use some of our orange creamsicle tea. Orange creamsicle is a Rooibos. Rooibos is naturally sweet, high in antioxidants, comes from South Africa. It's part of the nettle family. Has a really nice flavor. It takes on flavors very well, the Rooibos does. So here we have orange peel and some orange flavoring, natural orange flavoring, and it really has this nice orange smell. You guys can probably smell it in the room from over there. All the teas are available online at www.whystonesworldteas.com, and this is a really nice one. I usually do sweet stuff with Rooibos, particularly with orange creamsicle Rooibos. But I got to thinking, stir fry always has a sweet component to it. So instead of adding sugar, I'm going to try just using the Rooibos to give it that sweetness that we're going to need. So while that's steeping, I'm going to do some chopping here. I'm going to use some red peppers and some onions and some garlic. And I think those are all very nice for stir fry. And of course you can use whatever you got floating around the house. If you prefer scallions or if you like celery, by all means put that in these recipes. You know, really a recipe is just a guideline, so I hope that you can kind of take some of my guidelines, take them home with you, and put your own spin on these. Okay, some peppers. And you can cut them thick or thin. I'm kind of cutting those a little thick. Some garlic. I like my garlic sliced and kind of big. I don't know, I just think it looks nice. Visually, it's very interesting to see that. And some onions as well. I've got a nice red onion here. And I like red onion for the color. You can use white onion if you have, or scallions if you prefer. If you're going to use scallions, I would recommend that you don't saute them in the pan, that you add them last or near the end, because when you cook a scallion for a long time, it kind of takes away too much of the flavor. So I'm going to use some red onion, and I'm going to slice that red onion pretty thin. Okay. And I'm going to make a sauce with our Rooibos. Pan up here. I always like to preheat my pan. Even if I'm just bringing water to a boil, I think it's better to start with a pan that's got some temperature in it. Really speeds things up. So while I'm cutting my vegetables, I'm preheating my pan. Now I've steeped this tea here. Rooibos says we recommend that you steep these teas for 7 minutes. And I've gone with a double strength brew. So I've added twice as much, 2 tablespoons of Rooibos into my brew pot. And I've added less water. So this is a very strong concentrated flavor. And I'm just going to go ahead and get it in my pot. And I'm going to reduce this. And to reduce something is to boil off the excess water, boil it down so it increases in strength. Okay. And whenever I make a stir fry, I like to add some little heat to it, a couple of pepper flakes, and just a touch of lemon juice. Okay. I'm going to give that a moment or two just to go ahead and kind of simmer down. And also I'm going to thicken it with some cornstarch slurry. So this is cornstarch. It's about 2 tablespoons of cornstarch with, I don't know, half cup of water. And I like to put it in some sort of airtight container with a lid and shake it really good so it doesn't clump. And how much do I need? Well, I need enough just till it starts thickening. I would say I use maybe 2 tablespoons so far, and it's just starting to thicken. Cornstarch needs to be simmered, and if you don't simmer it for a minute or two, kind of it'll have a chalky, starchy flavor that's not really very desirable. So there we are. That looks perfect. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to reduce that a bit farther to increase its strength. And of course I want to taste it, make sure it tastes good. So let's see here. Yeah, not bad. I think it needs a little salt. And it needs a little more sweetness. I'm going to add some agave. Agave is a really nice sweetener. It's made from cactus. It's really low on the glycemic index. It's very sweet, but it's a neutral sweetness. We use it in our tea. We recommend it in our sweetening for our teas here in the cafe because it doesn't really step on the flavor of the tea that you're drinking, particularly some of the more subtle flavors. Sometimes just a drop or two in a traditional Japanese sencha, all it takes to really kind of bring out some of those extra flavors. That's very nice. Okay, so sauce is ready. You see that went pretty quick. And I'm going to saute some shrimp with some of our vegetables, and then I'm going to pour the sauce on top. We're going to have some stir fry. Again, I'm preheating my pan. And for stir fry, I want a lot of temperature. So I'm going to get this pan good and hot. When is the pan hot enough? Usually if I add the oil and the oil slides very quickly across the pan, you can see it ribbons across the pan, the oil's plenty hot. If you add the oil in and you kind of turn the pan handle and it just moves lethargically across the pan, you should have waited a little bit. And it's good to get your pan hot before you add the oil. That way the oil has less opportunity to burn or singe. And I think that's plenty hot. I can feel the heat from way up here. I prefer using blended oil over butter for most every application because it absorbs more into the food. You get less conflicts of flavor as well. It's really just a clean flavor. So there, it's ribbing across the pan. I'm gonna add my shrimp first. Okay, so nice. These shrimp, I patted them dry very carefully with the paper towel. A dry piece of protein won't stick in the pan. So if that shrimp is very, very wet, it's going to stick in the pan and give you nothing but fits. But if you have it nice and dry, see how I can just pop them over with a spoon very easily. And I'm going to cook them, maybe 25% of the way before I add my next set of ingredients, which is going to be the vegetables. I don't want the vegetables to be overcooked. But of course I want the shrimp to be fully cooked. It's a nicer texture. Okay, shrimp's just starting to change color. The color of the shrimp obviously should be kind of a dark pink. And also, I kind of look for a translucent color. That's how I know that they're not cooked yet. So you can see I've deveined these, and if you look, they're kind of still translucent on the inside. It's hard to see from there. So that's a surefire indicator that they're not all the way cooked yet. We do care for two shrimp? Sure.